Good morning, everyone. Good morning. 229, 2024 JLR investigates. Let's talk about the border. This particular segment about the border, ladies and gentlemen, is an educational. We're doing educational purposes, and I'm going to give you educational idea and names of border patrol stations and where the people are coming in based off the stations. This is pretty good stuff, folks. So stay tuned for this. Come on in, get yourself something to drink. Big day in Texas today. Former President Trump will be in Eagle Pass. Current President Biden will be in Brownsville. This is interesting, though. Bill Malusian put out a chart, right? He gets a lot of data. He gets a lot of data about the illegal crossings in certain areas of where the crossings occur. And when the people cross over the United States illegally, they get processed at a Border Patrol station. And the Border Patrol stations, each one has a specific acronym, right? And that's where they get processed and the numbers. And then they release the numbers based on the area where the people are coming in. And he released figures for the month of February. But what I want to show you is there's a bunch of acronyms, but I want to show you each location and where they are on the map and where the hot spots are currently in the month of February where people are crossing in. He put out a tweet, and I'm going to share this tweet, and then we're going to further go with this map, right? He said, new. Just to put into perspective how slow the area of the border Biden is visiting has been compared to the rest. This is internal CBP data reflecting apprehensions for all Border Patrol stations in February. Brownsville, BRP, close to 262 apprehensions, about 17 per day. This puts it at the 29th busiest port station in February. The number one station was Three Point section in Tucson, which has recorded 13,900 apprehensions in the month of February. Now, here's the chart, folks. And this is according to the Border Patrol figures. I'm figuring the figures are accurate, and you want to think that the Border Patrol is putting accurate figures. But what they do is each one down here, and this is where I'm going to educate you and show you based on the map of where each location is. So right here is a chart. Right here is a chart, ladies and gentlemen. And on this chart, it shows the numbers that have crossed in the month of February. So you see at a high here is 14,000, 12,000, 10,000, 8,000, 6,000, 4,000, 2,000. And TPS leads of all the places in the country. TPS leads. Now, this is where Biden is going today. He's going to Brownsville, which the acronym for Brownsville, according to the Border Patrol stations, is BRP. And they don't even get a lot compared to a lot of other stations. TPS, AJO, NGL, STN, EPS. So what's cool about this is, and this is what I've been doing all morning, and I was like, wow, I got to come on and share with my viewers. So, some of them make sense. Some of them make the acronyms you can kind of figure it out on your own. TUS, for instance. If you thought TUS and that they're receiving about 5,500 border crossings in the month of February, TUS, well, you think Tucson, right? Other ones are very hard to figure out. Other ones like EGT. I bet you guys don't know what EGT is. EPS is pretty good. EPS, you think about it, think of the southern border, think about all the cities. What would EPS be? El Paso. EGT is a little, it's kind of hard to figure out, but they're receiving a lot. But here's what you can do. I found a Border Patrol location on this site called Honor First. And with the Border Patrol locations, it tells you all the sectors. It tells you all the sectors around the country, right? And there's, the coastal border, the New Orleans sector, the Blaine sector, the Buffalo sector, the Detroit sector, Grand Forks, Havre sector, Halton sector, Spokane. So these are the north. But then when you got the southern border, you got the Big Bend sector, you got the Del Rio sector, and within these sectors, there's stations. There's stations. And each station has an acronym that they use. for their, for whatever purposes. That's what they do. Have an acronym for these stations. Del Rio section. Look at Eagle Pass. Like Eagle Pass, you would think it was EPS, but it's actually not EPS. It's EGT or EGS. El Centro sector, El Paso sector. Remember we said EPS, El Paso, EPS, El Paso. So it tells you each one. Laredo has a sector with a bunch of stations. Rio Grande Valley, which is like McAllen. McAllen is listed there, MCS. San Diego sector. San Diego sector has a bunch of them. Tucson sector. Yuma sector, right? So going back to this tweet by Bill Maluzhin, I'm going to go back to this tweet by Bill Maluzhin. He's saying that Biden is going to one of the 29th busiest port. So there's many other ports. This is where Biden is going, to the Brownsville sector, and they hardly receive anything for the month of February. They receive 462 apprehensions at 17 per day. But as you see, and that's way down here, right? You see there's many other places where there's way more border crossings. And that's where Biden's getting a lot of blowback. Though he's going to the border, and that's good that the president of the United States is going to the border to check out. But people are feeling, why would you even want to go to the state of Texas, in Brownsville, when you have many other locations that have way more border crossings? For instance, he's going to Brownsville with 462 crossings in the month of February. Well, look at this map. Look at this map. TPS leads it at 14,000. 14,000 apprehensions for the month of February, right? 14,000. Now, where is TPS? Because that got on my radar. I was like, okay, where's TPS? So I'm going to show you. I'm going to educate you on we'll do the five most. So we know right now, we'll figure out now ourselves, and I kind of figured it out already. I'm kind of giving you guys an educational tutorial. But we're going to show you where the number one border crossings, according to Border Patrol data, and I think the Border Patrol data might be a little bit off, because I've personally seen Border Patrol pick people up in vans or the contract people and send them different locations. So I don't know how that works and how the processing works, but it seems like TPS leads it. And that is called the 3 Points Border Patrol Station. 3 points. Now, this is where it's at. This is where it's 3 points. They received 14,000 Border Patrol apprehensions. It's called the 3 Points Border Patrol. This is the number one area where people have crossed in illegally in the country in the month of February. So I'm going to zoom the map out, and I'm going to show you where exactly it's located. And it looks like it is on Highway 86 and 286. And if you expand out, it's a little bit farther from the border. Oh, look at this. Just west of Tucson. Here it is. It's in Arizona. And the looks of it, there's Tucson right here. For some reason, the map isn't coming up where it says Tucson. There we go. There is the 3 Points Border Patrol Station. I think this station, the reason why this place here is getting the number one border patrol or illegal border crossings for the month of February is because just to the south of 3 Points, you have Sasabe. And as we've been covering on JLR Investigates, and you've probably been seeing the footage, about 15 miles to the east of Sasabe, right about here, right south of Arivaca. And remember, we did the plane flyover. Started out over here in the Green Valley. We went down here and we circled and we did the border wall. And we went all the way down to Nogales, right? Nogales here. We did that whole border wall. But the number one crossings in the United States, illegal crossings right now currently, is coming out of this area here. 14,000 in the month of February. And right about here is that camp where the border wall goes open And there's a giant makeshift camp there. Now, when we went there and I made a video, it was about here. It's about south, a little bit south of ibarrA, about 15 miles to the east of Sasabe. There's a big giant breach in the border wall. And people are coming in and they're going to this camp. And not only that, but there's multiple breaches all the way down this wall. So what's happening is people are flooding in these areas, and this is one of the most remote areas. We did a flyby. And once they come in, Border Patrol apprehends them, doesn't take them back, and they go up to the 3 Points Border Patrol station to get processed. Then they go to Tucson. Then they go to the hotels in Tucson that Ramada Inn, one we went in front of by the airport. There's another one there, Comfort Suites, that is operating. But this is the area of the number one border patrol or border illegal crossings in the United States currently right now. And it's not shocking considering that we've been down here and we've seen how remote it is and how unsecure the border wall is. But also, folks, this 3 Points Border Patrol station probably also represents this area here. San Miguel, just south of Sells. And this place is very unique because it's on an Indian reservation. This area here is on an Indian reservation. This whole area is the Tohono, O'odham Nation Reservation. It goes all the way to here. This is the Indian reservation. It goes to here. But as we know on JLR Investigates, and we've seen it in Yuma, and we've seen it in Texas, where there's Indian reservations, there is no border wall. There's no border wall where the Indian reservations are. And it seems like, based off Yuma area, right, just west of Yuma, where there's no wall, there's people coming in. So I don't know if all the numbers are coming from Sasabe to go get processed at 3 Points with the 14,000. But I suspect, and I haven't been to San Miguel, I was told don't go there. Other people have told me horror stories about being detained, Americans being detained on Indian reservation property. They have their own laws. I spoke with the great Ben Berkwin on the phone, and I asked him about San Miguel. I talked to him a few weeks ago, and I asked him about San Miguel because he's been there, and he pretty much advised me don't go to San Miguel. Don't go south of Sells because it is on Indian reservation land, and if the tribe people come and see you film and document, they could detain you, and they could take your equipment from you. The Channel 5, Andrew Callahan, do you guys know that guy, that comedian guy that does the border stuff? He's a really good guy. I've known him for years. I actually seen him in Eagle Pass a month ago. He follows the channel and stuff, and he told me his own same experience, I believe, with the Indian reservation. I think he said that he got fined $5,000 or something for filming on tribal land. So, you know, a lot of times the migrants or the people crossing the United States illegally cross in on these. There's not many Indian reservations that are along the U.S. southern border, but the ones that are Indian reservations, for some reason the tribe doesn't allow them to build the wall. So if you don't have a wall and you know it's an Indian reservation and they're welcoming, you would think that people would utilize that opportunity. That's why probably the combination of that and the combination of Sasabe makes this place, 3 Points Border Patrol station, the number one processing right now in the country for illegal crossings. 14,000 have occurred in this general area in the month of February. That's a lot. That's a lot. TPS. Now, let's go number two. AJO. What is AJO? Because they received almost the same amount as TPS. They've received over 12,000, probably about 12,500, 13,000 illegal crossings in the month of February. Well, We'll go around. We'll go find AJO. Oh, I found it right here. It was instantly. AJO, Tucson sector. AJO, AJO station. And I've already looked that up. And I'm going to show you where that one is located and why they're getting over 12,000 crossings in the month of February. Here you go. Aho, Aho, Aho. Told it's Aho. So here it is. The Aho Border Patrol Station on Highway 85. Let's branch out. Let's see where it's located. Oh, it's right by this town called Y. Let's branch out. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, it's in Arizona. Look at this. South of Gila Bend. Look what's south of Aho. Lukeville. Lukeville, Arizona. Now, Lukeville, Arizona has gotten a lot of attention. This whole area here. Oregon Pipe Cactus National Monument. Lukeville. And I actually drove past this Border Patrol station when I stayed in Aho on my way to Sasabe. But let me just expand out and just show you. This area here is the number 2 border crossings in the United States for the month of February. It looks like they got over 12,000. Well, Lukeville, I don't know if you guys remember Lukeville, but Lukeville, Arizona is where people are literally breaking through the wall. People from countries from around the world, mostly men from Africa, are busting through the wall there, and thousands of them are going across the wall and building campfires and have their camp. I'm reading that some make their way to this national monument, which is off of Highway 85, some rest stop, but they're all eventually being processed up here at the Aho Border Patrol Station. So this is the number 2, and you have all this area here, but it's probably Lukeville that's centered around the most of the number 2 Border Patrol crossings in the United States for the month of February, 13.5. What's number 3? NGL. What is number 3? NGL. What does NGL stand for? Well, they received about 10,000 Border Patrol crossings for the month of February. A little over 10,000. That's a lot. It's not the 14. It's not the 12.5 like Aho, but NGL. NGL stands for, and we'll look at that, Nogales. The Nogales station. The Nogales. So Arizona, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3 are Arizona for the month of February. You got 14,000. You got 12,500. And you got 10,000. Let's do the math. We'll do 12, 20, 26, 36,000 people. We'll just say 35,000 people in the month. 35,000 people in the month of February have crossed in from Nogales all the way to Lukeville. So you got Nogales. People say Nogales. No. Nogales. No. Nogales. I'll just say Nogales. Nogales. Either or. Nogales, Sasabe, Lukeville, San Miguel. All in between there. All between that area. 36,000 people have crossed into the United States illegally. Now, where is the Nogales Border Patrol Station? I'll show you, because I actually drove to this location when I was in Arizona a few weeks ago. So it's right here. This is it. This is the Nogales Border Patrol Station, U.S. Border Patrol, and we'll expand out because it is really close to this one is really close to the border. South of Tucson. We'll just expand out. Just want to show you. There's Tucson. You go down Interstate 15, you get to Nogales. Now, the very first one I showed you earlier was 3 points, which was here. This is the number 1. We'll expand out a little bit more. Over here is Lukeville. and or I'm sorry. Lukeville over here. Lukeville. This is the number 2. So the number 1 is here. Sasabe. Number 2 is here. Here's the number 3. Here's the number 3. Nogales. And what makes this place interesting is I've made multiple videos. And I received 10,000 people coming through here a month. What's interesting about this place is, and I'll expand it out, the Border Patrol station is located right down this street here, which is off the port of entry. And I've made multiple videos from a location right about here. And right about here, folks, right about here at this location here. Now, along Nogales, there's double wall. But right in here is like a river ravine. And in this river ravine, the border wall is completely gone. Well, it's wide open. Both sides. And when I went there, and you've seen some of my videos, people were coming in every 15 minutes. They were getting dropped off in their vehicle about a quarter mile down the road. I could see the headlights. And they'd come out in waves of 5 to 10 people. And they would walk right through the border. And it was happening every 15 minutes. And my mind was thinking, how many does this have? 15 minutes. So you're talking 15, 30, 45, 60. 60 an hour. We'll figure 600 a day. Can't be that much if they got 10,000. So, not work 300 a day there. 300 a day. 300 times 10, 3,000 times 30, 900, 9,000. 300 a day. But it happened at this location right here. Number 3 hotspot sector. And then once they cross over, they would march up the road. Border Patrol would process them on one of these dirt roads. And then they would zoom them down this dirt road onto here and then take them to the Border Patrol station. I personally followed them. Do these trips. Same trip. People walk in the United States illegally up on the dirt road. They get processed, go down the dirt road. They would get onto this road. They go up here and then make a left and then go right to the end of the cul-de-sac. And they'd get dropped off at the Border Patrol station. So it's really fast and quick and convenient here from entering in illegally to going up the, I think it was right here. Because they would have to go up the road, get in vans there, go down the dirt road, go right up to the road and go to the Border Patrol station. Boom. 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 Like clockwork. 15 minutes. 10 people here and there. Sometimes 5 people. 10 people. That is the number 1. This is the number 3. Number 3 spot for illegal crossings in the United States for the month of February. So I'm just showing you that the number 1, number 2, and number 3 are Arizona. Let's keep looking at the chart because now we shift. Let me look on this other chart here. Now we shift, folks. I'm going to show you number 4. Because number 4, guess what, folks? Number 4, first you got TPS, 3 points Border Patrol Station, AO, number 2, Nogales, number 3. Now, number 4 is also a heavy hot spot. This is number 4. STN. What do you think STN is? They get almost 10,000. They get probably about 9,500 a month. STN. Now, I didn't know what STN is, and I actually had to look on the Border Patrol chart. I'm like, where the heck is STN? And I'm looking. And then within the El Paso sector, I see STN. Santa Teresa Station. And I'm thinking, well, is there a Santa Teresa, Texas? No, folks. Santa Teresa Border Patrol Station. Guess what? It's in New Mexico. It's just west of El Paso. It's on the New Mexico side. This is the number 4 Border Patrol crossings, illegal crossings, border crossings in the United States for the month of February. Almost 10,000 coming out of here, coming out of New Mexico. Now, we haven't been to this location on JLR Investigates. Here it gives you a perspective of where it is. Number 4 in the country for the month of February, right here. Very, very interesting, folks. Now, I've tried to educate myself on this area, and what I'm seeing and hearing is people are avoiding El Paso because of what Abbott is doing and the Border Patrol, it's tight there, whatever. El Paso is a big city. They're taking a trek around this Sunland Park. I guess it's some sort of desert landmark or something out there. And they're coming in through here. They're coming in through here in this area, or even all the way out to here. I guess everyone gets processed and they eventually go to the Santa Teresa Border Patrol Station. But this is an area that I myself, and look, and you could see roads are just parallel to the U.S.-Mexican border down there in New Mexico. But apparently they're getting almost 10,000 illegal crossings in this area, according to Border Patrol, in the month of February, just west of El Paso. So my goal, this is one area I've not been. I've not been to El Paso checking out the border crisis. I think I want to go up here to see what's going on in Santa Teresa, at least get educated, at least understand where these people are coming in. This particular area. Now, I went to New Mexico a couple weeks ago, but I went all the way over here. This was the spot in New Mexico I went to. I'll show you. This is the right here. This is the Santa Teresa right here, part of New Mexico, just west of El Paso. I went down here to Antelope Wells, and there was nothing going on down here. There was nothing going on. So apparently, the number 4 crossings in the United States happened right around here, just west of El Paso. So I might have to go check that out. Now, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 STN. EPS. EPS is number 5. And EPS number 5 has about 9,000, a little shy of 9,000 border patrol crossing, or border crossings in the United States for the month of February. About 9,000. What is EPS? Well, that's almost common sense. According to the map, EPS would be El Paso. El Paso. El Paso. So what's interesting is, in this border patrol station, well, that's San Diego. El Paso's border patrol station. Let me get border patrol station in El Paso. But what's interesting about this is number 4 and number 5, STN, Santa Teresa Border Patrol Station, and EPS are pretty much next to one another. So one is receiving just shy of 10,000. One is receiving just shy of 9,000. So 19,000 illegal crossings come in the Santa Teresa, El Paso area for the month of, there's El Paso. So the Border Patrol Station is probably somewhere around here. I didn't actually put it up. 19,000 have crossed in illegally from this location in the month of February. That's a lot, folks. We haven't tapped into this area. For all the people that know, I'll expand out the map. 19,000 people have crossed in illegally on the El Paso, Santa Teresa sector in the month of February. It's a lot. It's a lot. We're going to have to get to that location to see firsthand what in the world is going on there. So, that's El Paso. That's number 5. EGT. Now, this one's interesting. EGT. What is EGT? Because EGT, right here, EGT, in the month of February, just got over 8,000 crossings. Well, let's look on the map. Let's look for EGT. Where we got? 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 Where are we? Where are we? EGT. Let's see. Where's EGT? EGT. Oh, oh, oh. Look at this. Del Rio sector, Eagle Pass Station. EGT. Eagle Pass. Now we know about Eagle Pass. We know about Shelby Park. We know about the National Guard being there. We know about other states helping and contributing to secure the border. Yeah, they got it tight. And they got Trump visiting today to Eagle Pass. But despite all that National Guard locking it down in Eagle Pass, there is other locations within the Eagle Pass. To the north, Quemado, Normandy, a little bit to the south. And despite all those border patrol or border crossings and border patrol there and National Guard there, almost a little over 8,000 people have still crossed over the United States illegally in that area in the month of February. It's wild. So is the border really secure in Eagle Pass? It makes me wonder, what is Trump going for? It seems like that is a spot. But if you could do comparisons, let's do comparisons between Trump and Biden. Because Biden is going to Brownsville, which just receives just over a little over 400 illegal border crossings for the month of February. And Trump is going to EGT, Eagle Pass, which receives a little over 8,000. What's Trump going to say when he goes there? Is he going to say the border's secure in Eagle Pass when they're still receiving 8,000 legal crossings? Now, in fairness, if National Guard was not at Shelby Park and they didn't have the place under control, it's most likely that EGT would probably be the number one spot in the country where people are crossing in illegally. Because at one point in the month of December, folks, EGT was receiving 5,000 people a day. A day. And they were blowing past every single place in the United States. It was known as the number one hotspot where people were crossing in. So 5,000 a day, do the math, 150,000 a month. I don't know if it was that much, but it was a lot. I think they were saying close to 80,000 people were crossing in at Eagle Pass a month. So if it was 75, 80,000 and went down to 8,000, which it is now according to the month of February, that's a significant cut. That's a big time cut. You're not going to stop everybody, right? You won't stop everybody, but if you can reduce, that's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. Jan said 5,000 a day each day. It was. Literally it was. We seen it at Christmas. Well, I've seen it there when I was there in end of September, October. Elon Musk was there. I was in Eagle Pass prior to the year before. There was a lot, but it wasn't a lot as much as I saw in the fall. We literally, before my eyes, the numbers add up. The eyes don't lie. There was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds that were just pouring in, going across the water in waves of 100. That would accumulate we estimated at the time, they were like, I had to see 25, 3,000 in that one Shelby Park location every day. But they're still, according to Border Patrol, getting 8,000 people in that area. Doesn't necessarily mean Shelby Park, in that area for the month of February. Now, remember we were in Jacumba? Remember we were in Jacumba? Some people say Jacumba because it's Jacumba, but it's actually, I believe it's Jacumba. The J sounds like an H, and it's Umba, Jacumba. Well, Jacumba doesn't necessarily have a Border Patrol station, but nearby they have a station called the Boulevard Station. I just want to show you the numbers there because there was a lot coming in. We've seen the numbers at Jacumba. We've seen the people. But I just want to show you here, according to their reports, this would be the Boulevard section, BLVD, Boulevard. Boulevard. And they get about just under 6,000. They get just under 6,000 for the month of February. But there's other ones ahead of them. The place where I just came from, Jacumba's right here. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 other places that get more. And we see a lot. RGC. That's Rio Grande Valley. That's the Rio Grande. That's like McAllen, Texas. Other ones here. CAO. What's CAO? Campo, California. What's CHU? Chula Vista. What's IMB? Imperial Beach. So some of the places in San Diego County, Campo, we never went to Campo. Chula Vista. Chula Vista is the area where the people were going to the schools in San Diego. It's the place right now where people are getting thrown into the streets by Border Patrol. They get about 6,000 crossings a month. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Then you got people like here, Tucson sector, Tucson, TUS, Yuma sector. And then you got it so on, and then it just gets a Douglas. This is in far eastern Arizona, and it just goes. But here's where Biden is going to today. BRP. So you yourself and me, in order to understand where everyone is going and where it shifts, and I'm sure the numbers shift, and maybe they don't shift. Maybe it's always been like this. Now we get an understanding of where people are coming in. The 3 Points Border Patrol Station processes more people in the United States that came in across the country illegally than anywhere else. That is just north of Sasabe. So if you're a border patrol or if you're a border expert, you're a journalist, you want to see what's going on, you want to see people cross in, you want to document it yourself, you want to be informative to your audience, I suggest go to Sasabe, because you're almost guaranteed to see people come in. But what's crazy is, for me, I've been to Sasabe twice. And that's the number one where people are getting processed. I haven't seen anyone ever cross in illegally in Sasabe. I've seen the camps, but every time I go there, they're not there. Same with Lukeville, AJO, Ajo. I went to Lukeville and it looked calm as a cucumber. They had Border Patrol placed all over it, but they had all these, like, where they were cutting through the walls, they would have all these they would redo the walls, and they had all these numbers, and I could see the campfires for sure. I could see all the documentation shredded for sure. But there's two places based off this chart which got my interest, is the Santa Teresa and El Paso. We have not been there. And they're the number 4 and number 5 in this country. So let me know what you think. I encourage you guys to also educate yourself, and we'll try to get an understanding more. What's Trump going to say today? What is Biden going to say? Both of them are going at the same time. We'll play their press conferences, both of them, or whatever statements they give. I'm sure they'll give statements, right? They're not just going down there to look around. They're going down there to talk to the public, talk to the world. Each one has a different perspective on the border, I think, or maybe they're on the same page. I don't know. I know that there's been some memos. Excuse me. I know there has been some memos out that are saying the White House is now encouraging sanctuary cities to cooperate with ICE, with the ICE detainers, because people have been getting let out in sanctuary cities for some reason. If you do a criminal act and you're not here legally, the sanctuary cities don't comply with ICE detainers, and they let people go. Well, the White House is now starting to encourage people to, in these sanctuary cities, the authorities and officials to let ICE do their job. Will that happen? Or is this only because it's election year and finally everything is getting in light? This is the number one topic in the United States, ladies and gentlemen, is the border. So hopefully I gave you some insight this morning. Thanks for watching. I'll keep you informed. And when more border stuff comes out, I'll share with all of you. Cheers, everyone. You guys have a great morning. Kind of becoming a pro at this. But I'm so fascinated with what's going on the border. You know, I just see different terrain at different areas, and the Border Patrol operates so differently in each sector. Some don't want you to film. Some encourage you to film. Some don't want you close to the border walls. Others allow you to go right up there. We know where all the hot spots are. We know where all the holes in the wall are. We know all the vulnerabilities. We know where it's secure. We know where there is no border wall. El Paso and the Santa Teresa. That's where I'm probably going to go to next, just to see and share with all of you. All right. You guys have a great day. JLR, sub to the channel, like, hit the notification button. See a lot of the regulars, a lot of the subs, a lot of the members. If you are a member, if you're not a member, please consider being a member. Your support helps us get to these locations to understand what's going on so I can share with all of you. We do a little bit different than the mainstream media, right? We live stream and we just let it go. We don't sugarcoat, and we're raw. We're raw with what we do. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Be safe. JLR Investigates.